Elon Musk warned of near-term weakness for the EV maker as the company focuses its efforts on upscaling autonomous ventures.
We're in this like weird transition period where we will lose a lot of incentives in the U.S. On the other hand, autonomy is most advanced and most available from a regulatory standpoint in the U.S. I mean, does that mean like we could have a few rough quarters? Yeah, we probably could have a few rough quarters. I'm not saying we will, but we could.
So what does that cautious tone mean for investors? Joining me now, longtime Tesla bull, Dan Ives, Wedbush Securities Managing Director and Global Head of Technology Research.
Great to be here.
Great to see you. So I gotta ask you, when the CEO of the company is saying something like that, is Tesla dead money for the next year? Like, should investors even bother to get in here?
Look, in my opinion, this is a company entering a golden age. Because when I think about the future, it's about AI, autonomous, robotics. Now look, was this a quarter that you're going to frame, on a wall? No. The next few quarters, could it be soft from a delivery perspective? Of course, and Musk hit that. But to me, it's about robotaxis. It's about physical AI.
Well, it might be about all of those things, but it's not all about those things now.
Sure.
It's not going to be about it next quarter or the quarter after that or the quarter. I mean, like, when is it going to be about all that stuff?
Go back to 22, like when Jensen's wearing the black leather jacket and you're talking about AI in 2022, the haters, right, all in hibernation mode, they all come out, and then think about AI, 23, and the rest is history. My view is that we are in a fourth industrial revolution. And I think that's why for Tesla, it's not about deliveries. Now look, I think deliveries does rebound a bit in the second half, but it's all about 25, 30 robotaxi in cities over the next year. It's about what I view as robotics in terms of Optum. And look, I think the autonomous valuation alone is $1 trillion.
But here's the thing, Dan. You and I have been talking about Tesla for a while. And I gotta be honest, you always say the same thing about Tesla, no matter what the company itself says.
Sure.
Like Elon could do anything. Well, you've pushed
I did
back.
criticize.
You have criticized. Okay, to be fair, yes, but that more had to do with politics than like.
Sure.
But what's happening right now is not great for the company.
I agree that it's not great in terms of near-term fundamentals. I mean, you've talked about, and that's 100% true. And I could see like some investors selling the stock. They feel like the next 1-2 quarters, nothing's going to be great. But to me, this is just the beginning of what's going to be an autonomous future and AI future. And I think we will look back, me and you, 6 months, 12 months from now. You already might have been a robotaxi in New York City.
I have not.
No,
not
I'm
yet.
saying, but you might 6-12 months.
Yes.
And we will sit here.
I'd be more likely to be in a Waymo than a Tesla robotaxi, though, Dan.
So let's see. Because I believe Waymos are basically breadcrumbs relative to what the robotaxi opportunity is going to be for Tesla. But I'm just saying, 6-12 months now, we look back in this period. This was a golden buying opportunity. I believe this is a $2 trillion market cap, but I get it. Look, they've hated Tesla the whole way through. Any issue like this transitional period going from EV to AI,
right.
I get the sell-off.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Even if we agree, we're preparing for an autonomous future, we're preparing for an AI future, even if we agree on that, why are you so convinced that it is Tesla that is going to be such a big winner? Because it is a very competitive field out there. Any part of this you're talking about, whether you're talking about AI, whether you're talking about autonomous, whether you're talking about robots, any of it, there's a lot of other very smart people and companies working on all of it.
And it's a great point. I mean, look, my view is that first, when it comes to autonomous and it comes to like what they're building, I believe Tesla will essentially own the autonomous market. But it's also the view like Optimus, robotics, as that scales, humanoids, that's going to be a huge piece of the Tesla story. And then ultimately, I think by November, Tesla will take a big stake and it will get voted on in XAI. So my view is that this is going to be, when it comes to physical AI, one of the key players, along with NVIDIA, and of course, other big tech companies, Microsoft, Meta, and everyone else is going to play. But it's a fourth industrial revolution. And I think viewing Tesla just as a car company, it's saying Scheffler is just a golfer. It's saying, LeBron's just a basketball player. I view this much different in terms of where this all heads.
You mentioned November as being another catalyst. There's something else happening in November, and that's the midterm elections, right? And as you alluded to before, sort of one of the things that you have pushed back against is Musk's involvement in politics. He says he's starting a political party, right? So is that going to be another challenge, another distraction for him?
Yeah, but since that July 4th, whatever, over a barbecue when he put that out, he really hasn't talked about it.
It's true.
Look, and we push back at it because my view is that you need a wartime CEO, just like what you see with Zuckerberg and Meta. And that's essentially what we see Musk starting to do. I continue to think the biggest asset for Tesla is Musk. So you're starting to see a different Musk driving the AI future. But even Trump, let's say last night, pushed back in terms of some of the comments made from press secretary about Musk's AI ventures that some of the government wants to shy away from. But now you see Trump backtracking on that, and I think really trying to embrace Elon in his latest tweet. So my view is that Musk is going to be a part of the AI future in the US, but you cannot, from a politic perspective, that is something I view as a lose-lose situation.
Do you think that Tesla has an absentee board?
I think Tesla has a board that's had minimal backbone. People can say it's a rubber stamp board, but I do think you're now getting to a point where the board's going to have to step it up. In terms of giving Musk 25% voting, right? So I think that's important in terms of the AI initiative, especially when it comes to XAI. But then also, we've said, guardrails are just some outlines in terms of look, here's going to be a massive compensation package. And obviously the Delaware issue is still in flux. We're going to give you a massive compensation package. These are the targets, everything they talked about in the call. Okay, but you do these and the rest is history. But if you don't, as well as even some of the political stuff, that's something where I think the board needs to have a little more control.
Yeah, accountability.
It's accountability for the first time. And also, this is, I think it's the most important chapter in Tesla's history, the next 12, 18 months. And that's even why Alphabet, stepping up CapEx. The point is, no one in this AI arms race could be on the outside looking in. It speaks to why we say Apple is going to need to do Perplexity. You can't be watching tech in the left lane of Ferrari going 100 miles an hour in that AI highway, being a minivan, right lane 45 miles an hour.